We are at the point where we're ready to write in our comp books. When you flip the classroom, this part of the video is as if we're in class taking notes in our comp book. It's just that you're doing it at home in your comfy position with your comfy clothes and your comfy food and so forth. So you need your comfy comp book now to write this in. And so several of you came in and just didn't have it in your comp book. And sometimes you forget your comp book and so forth, but that's, you can always tape it in, rewrite it, or video, copy it and put it in your book. Somehow get it in there. So please, and I'm teaching on the flipped classroom, you're writing in your comp book. And it should be page 117. Is that the new one? We're going to call it More Simplifying with Trig IDs. And if I think it's 117, maybe 119, we'll duke it out about that on Monday, you know. So let's go ahead and write this. This will give you credit for having seen this video, what you write now. I am just going to do a couple more, maybe two. I hope it doesn't take us long, past 10 minutes. I feel like I've talked 10 minutes already. I'm sorry, but we had business to take care of. Suppose we had this trig expression and we were asked to simplify it. The tool I'm going to take out of my trig travel bag is the addition. So I'm going to add these two. Algebraically, they have to have the same denominator to add them. So I'm going to multiply this by cosine x over cosine x. And I multiply this by 1 plus sine x over 1 plus sine x. And you'll see the common denominator flushes out, cosine x times 1 plus sine x. They both have the same denominator, so I'm going to combine them under that like denominator. And on the top here, I've got a cosine squared x, and then I have a 1 plus sine x, add it to it, and another 1 plus sine x. Alright, so looking at that, notice this will not cancel that because this plus sign is holding it together. So the only thing, I'm going to follow my nose, my mathematical nose leads me in the next step, and I'm just going to distribute this out and see what comes of it. So cosine squared x, I'm writing from here, plus 1 plus 2 sine x. I combined some steps there, plus sine squared x over this denominator, cosine x times 1 plus sine x. In the top, do you see, as there are bells ringing, ding, 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 I see a trig ID. What's sine squared plus cosine squared? Well, that's a 1. So since I'm running out of board space, you can just rewrite this one. But I'm going to replace a sine squared plus cosine squared with a 1. And now I have in the numerator 1 plus 1 is a 2. Furthermore, I can factor out the common 2. My nose just leads me down the path. And when I pull out a 2, I get 1 plus sine x. Now this is held to this by multiplication, and this is held to that, so I can cross these out. So I'm left with 2 over cosine x, which is 2 secant x. So you don't want to have your answer with a fraction line in it, so you can rewrite 2 over cosine as 2 secant. And that is the answer, I think. Let me check it. It is. Alright, so do you see how this problem has ramped up from some of the ones we did in class today? Alright, we're going to be ramping it up, and you're going to be using more of your algebra and more of your mathematical nose to get through these. Let's try another one. And I'm sorry if I went over 10 minutes. But this will be the last one for our weekend.